Well, hello YouTube. Welcome back to Bison's Aquarium. I'm Bob, having my Hope County coffee today. And I thought I would do a tour of my living room, which is slash fish room. And we got the newest setup, which is not really a new setup. It was a setup that was in the bedroom, and I brought it out here, and I changed a few things in it, and thought I would highlight it a little bit, introduce you guys to the new tank. New design, anyway. And then we got the camo hexagon 29 gallon, and then we got Jake and Charlie, and then we got Jack and Jill. Alright, well, we're gonna go over feeding each one of them and just see how it goes as I'm going along. If there's something that I want to touch upon, I will. So it's basically just a tour of Bison's Aquarium, or aquariums. I should have changed it to Bison Aquariums, but at the time that I started, I only had Jake and Charlie's tank, and then I went and got crazy. So I'm sure you fish enthusiasts out there can understand that. And it's not so much the fish, it's the decorating the tanks is what is the part that I like the most. Being able to create a different environment for different fish. So that's where I get the thrill out of it, is the creativity of the whole thing. I like looking at it and saying, well, you know what, that would look just like that in the wild. So anyway, we'll start off here with the 20 gallon. Alright, the story on the 20 gallon is when I set up Jake and Charlie's tank, the 55, I ended up having to put floors in my living room. And when I done that, I had to take the tank back down after, it wasn't even hardly established yet. And I had to take it down. Well, when I took it down, I had to have a place to put Jake and Charlie. So I went and got this. I think it was like $79 for this tank, and it's pretty thick glass, and it's black silicone. And that's my son sending me a Facebook message. Anyway, so I went ahead and put Jake and Charlie in this one until I got the floor finished. Well, once I got Jake and Charlie's tank back up and running, then this one here was in the bedroom, pretty much didn't have nothing in it. So I went ahead and put the blue grommies in there and a Placo, and it been back in the bedroom, it just got neglected way too much. Simply because when I go to my bedroom, I'm going back there because I'm tired and I'm ready to go to bed. So it's the wrong place for a fish tank. So I went ahead and set it up out here, and I had a lot of worms in it simply because I didn't take care of it very good when it was in the bedroom, because like I said before in my last video, out of sight, out of mind. So I brought it out here, and yesterday I had a ton of worms. Well, they gathered right here, and that was before I put the bubble wall in there. And they gathered right here. So I took a rag and just kind of swooped them up out of there. And then I put the cory in there, and I have not seen one worm since I set this tank back up This water is as crystal clear as could be. And I don't see not one worm. It happened that quick. They disappeared. Now, yeah, there might be some stragglers in the gravel, but that Corey's going to take care of it. And that Corey is doing a fine job, and I've only had him for 2 days. I got him at the same time that I got the two red miner Serpay tetra. So I got them back in there, and we're getting ready to feed these. Now I put cedar wood in here. Now I was told that it was poisonous once it's underwater. We're going to find out. That's the whole purpose of this test, is to find out if that wood, if cedar wood, is harmful to your fish. Because I've looked on YouTube and I didn't see anything that tells you that cedar is harmful or not harmful. So I decided to take this experiment on myself, and some fish are going to have to sacrifice if that's the case. Oh, I think I just seen a worm. Yep, I seen a worm. So that's a hell of a sight better than what it was. It was a great old big frickin', I mean, it was just everywhere. If you look at my last video on setting up the 20-gallon tank, you'll see all the worms that was in it. So if you look at that and then look at now, it's like day and night. Alright, so I put all this stuff here that used to be around some angels that I have, some gold angels, and the angels just, they're scary looking. So I just took them off and zip tied them to a couple pieces of styrofoam so they'll float on the top, and kind of give it a canopy over top of everything, and to kind of put some reflections down in the bottom with the light, or the light reflecting with the bubbles. As you can see, it's flickering along the gravel and the rock, and it looks pretty good. So let's take you off the tripod here and give you a closer look. There are the tetra, and I think they're pretty cool looking tetra. So I think we're going to make this the tetra tank, because I'm going to get some more tetras eventually. Alright, and then we got our Cory over here that just absolutely stays busy. There's a worm right there. So I spoke too soon. There are a few in there that's floating around, but I would imagine that Cory will get him eventually. So this one here, we're not going to feed. The reason we're not going to feed is because I've already fed this morning, and I don't want to overfeed this, simply because I'm trying to get rid of worms, and I'm pretty close to succeeding in that. We're not going to feed this tank. We want the Cory to get hungry enough to eat the worms. We want him to stay busy. Now we need to get a Placo for this one, and I'm going to get a different Placo this time. The black ones, they're too common. I want to get one that's got different colors. I want to get one that pops out. So, but I'm not going to get him until we've done the wood experiment. Anyway, let's move on. So now we are at the 29 hexagon tank that I put a light underneath this trim right here to shine in at the very, it's kind of halfway between the gravel and not gravel, so it kind of shines on the ground, and I'm hoping that light will help that plant. I didn't plan that. I just realized that that could help with that plant. So, but anyway, we got 2 blue grammies in there. We got a goldfish in here, and we've got a flaco. We're going to add more fish to this eventually, and we're just waiting for it to be fully established. The gravel is new, the pots are new, the flowers are new, the rocks have plenty of algae on them because they're out of existing, already started tanks. The glass was starting fresh, so the filter was in an established tank, so I left the filter in it, and both filters, one filter I got with the tank, that one wasn't established, but the filter that I put in it came out of the 10-gallon tank. So the filter is actually helping to start the tank. Normally that filter would have been thrown in the trash and a new one would have been put in an existing tank. But when you're starting a new tank, no, that's a good thing. You got to keep that and put it in here and run it through here, and that will help jumpstart this tank. Of course, it already had established water out of the 20-gallon. And yes, I bet I got worms in this one too. But I have not seen one. Knock on wood. I have not seen a worm in here yet. So I don't know if it's just that they died because there's nothing in there for them to eat. With this one, we're going to go ahead and feed right now. And you guys get to see them eat. There we go. They like to eat. I still haven't made this piece to put on here that I'd like to make. I'd like to try to find a cutting board that's that thick until I can afford to get some glass. That stuff's not expensive or not cheap. That plexiglass, it's 3/8 inch thick. It's not very cheap. Alright, so now let's move on to oh, by the way, this is duct tape. That's all it is camouflage duct tape. And I've got a video of me doing this, so check it out, guys. Alright, so now let's move on over to Jake and Charlie. Now this is Jake and Charlie's tank. This one here, I was kind of going for the backwoods look. The 20-gallon one, the first one we showed, that one I was going for an autumn look, autumn country scene. The hexagon tank, it kind of accidentally turned into, kind of looks something like a Hawaiian theme or something, just because of the leaves. And this one here looks more like something you'd find out in the country, like in West Virginia, where a log has fell into the creek. So that's basically what I was going for with this one. And I put these little things right there in to just mimic growth on the log. And this piece down here kind of makes it look like maybe a seed fell off of it and started to grow. And the next thing I got to do is take those rocks over there out, and then I'm going to have to rearrange the hose to hide it. But the only reason for the rocks to begin with was to get this log to stay sunk. Well, as you can see, there's nothing holding it on this side, and it's holding down just fine. So I would imagine that's ready to come out, and this log will actually sit there by itself, and that will give a little bit more room for Jake. The bigger he gets, the more room he's going to want. So let's go ahead and feed Jake. As soon as I find my night crawlers, where'd I put those? Alright, get ready, guys. There you go. You want these? Is that what you want? Ah, look at that mess he makes. Man, that drives me nuts when he does that shit. I hate it when he does that. God, he just throws that stuff everywhere out of his gills. Look at that. He's still going at it. He almost swallows them things whole, man. Alright, so this was my first established tank. I built the stand and the hood, and this is the hood from the top. I still got some fine tuning to do under here, and I'm thinking about doing some changing to this hood and put these lights up a little higher and back a little further, or maybe forward a little further. I'm not sure yet. I'd actually like to have a little more light out towards here to show his colors up a little better. So now let's go to the 40 gallon with Jack and Jill. Alright, here we go. They know what time it is. Get ready. Alright, Jill's back here. She's going to want one. There you go, Jill. Oh, look at that. Jack tried to take it from her. You ain't quick, man. Jack will take it from you. I'm trying to feed their crabenzas, but Jack keeps taking them. So I gotta distract him so that my crabenzas can get a little piece. I need to start putting it back here in the back where Jack and Jill can't get it. I don't know how big that crabenzas is going to get. Alright, that is feeding time. Now the story on this tank is, we'll put you back up here on the tripod. Now the story on this tank is, I had seen Jack and Jill on Craigslist, and they were giving him away. Well, he was kind of far. They were kind of far away, and I really didn't want to put them in with Jake, because at that time Jake was only about that big. He wasn't very big. And these here were pretty big fish, so I didn't want to put them in with Jake and Charlie because I was afraid they was going to bully Jake. Well, I didn't realize at the time that these were pansy fish, not Jack Dempsey's. These are pansies. uh, they're not predator fish no more. They're supposed to be predator fish, but they're not. Uh, in fact, I just seen the crawdad right here walking back and forth this morning. No problem. They were all swimming around each other. Jack Dempsey was just swimming right over top of him. Didn't even pay him no mind. I don't know why Jill went after the one in that one video I showed you on Jill's first kill. So I don't understand why they're predator one time and not another. To me, a predator fish is a fish that whatever you put in there is not going to survive. That is a predator fish as far as I'm concerned. So I've got 2 predator tanks and I've got 2 community tanks. I took down the 10-gallon tank. I'm probably not going to do anything with it. I'm probably just going to clean it up, put all the stuff in it, and put it aside in case I ever need it. Never know when you might need a spare tank just to do, something, move somebody or something. So this is pretty much it for me. These 4 tanks will be my stopping point. I don't see where I need any more. I'm not one of them guys that has a fish room that's got nothing but tanks in it. This is the limit for me. Now, if I had a house, that would probably be a different story. If I had a house that was my own and I had a spare room, yes, I would have a full-fledged wall-to-wall fish room. But it would have to have concrete floors. Yeah, that would be the only way I would have a fish room like some of these big guys. So that is the tour of the Bison's Aquarium fish room / living room. I hope this was enjoyable. If you got any questions, ask. Feel free to ask any question you want. Pretty much an open book, and my fish room is definitely an open book. I'm kind of debating on whether this Bison's Aquarium channel is even going to go anywhere. I got one person who actually watches my frickin' videos, so I don't know what's going on. Apparently, no one gives a shit about Bison's Aquarium. That's just being honest. That's the way I see it, because I'm not getting any traction with this, and I've even talked to Palmer, I don't remember his full name, but Palmer, the one who's building the plywood tank, these guys don't seem to be interested in what's going on with Bison's Aquarium. So apparently there's too many fish rooms out there that I can't get no traction with it. And my son's getting to feel the same way about gaming channel. He's got a gaming channel, and he's got like 21 subscribers, and it's been that way for 6 months. So what the hell is going on with YouTube? No one knows. Even my Bison Workshop channel is falling. So I don't know. Eventually, if I don't start getting any traction, I'm going to quit putting up videos, because I just don't see any point in it. the reason that you put videos up is for people to see it and like it and talk to you about it. If you have none of those, then you're basically just a robot doing something for nothing. So don't forget to like, guys, subscribe, share, love, man. Let me know what you think of my videos. If you don't like them, tell me you don't like them. If you like them, tell me you like them. Don't keep me in the dark, guys, because I kind of would like for everybody to like my stuff, and if nobody likes it, then I'm not going to bother doing it no more. Plain and simple. Anyway, you guys have a good one. Later.